gang. Welcome to Chapter 15. Now, in the previous chapter, connecting to and setting up a network, you learned how to connect a computer to a network and how to set up and secure a wired and wireless router for a small network. Now, in Chapter 15, we're going to take it a step further when it comes to supporting networks. Now, we're going to learn about the different types of networks and technologies used to build these networks, and also learn about the hardware devices, the cables, connectors, and the different things that are used to construct a network. And then finally, what we'll learn about is the networking tools, how to terminate network cables, and how to troubleshoot problems and network hardware that's associated with it. Now, a computer network is created when two or more computers can communicate with each other. Now, networks can be categorized by several methods, including the technology used and the size of the networks. When networks are categorized by size or physical area they cover, these are the categories that are used. Now, we've got a PAN, or a personal area network, a LAN, which is a local area network. We've got a WLAN, which is a wireless local area network, a MAN, metropolitan area network, and a WAN, which is a wide area network. Now, we talk about these briefly within the chapter. We also talk about different wireless or wired types of cellular networks, be it cellular, satellite, a variety of different types of networks. I'm not going to dig into those within this lecture, but we've got on page 697 and 698 a couple of charts, or tables if you will, that will break down the technology, the maximum speed associated with that technology, and the common uses for that technology. For instance, when it comes to wireless capabilities or a Wi-Fi network, the current standard that we use is 802.11ac. Now, that's the IEEE protocol that we use, and that has a maximum speed of up to 1.3 gigabits per second. Latest Wi-Fi technology, and we always have to keep in mind, a system is only as fast as its slowest component within that system. So if we are relying on a network connection from one point to the next, the system is only as fast as the slowest component within that path. So we have, within Chapter 15, we'll deal with hubs, switches, wireless access points, bridges, the different ways to connect devices together on a network. We also talk about the different cabling. Now, in the past, we've talked about the different cables that are connected to a system unit itself, but now we're talking about supporting network hardware. Now, this goes beyond just the system unit, and we're talking about connecting to hubs, routers, switches. So we may be talking about thin net, thick net, fast Ethernet, or fiber optic connections. And we have to know how far those cables can transmit data and at what speeds are they transmitting data. We've also got twisted pair cabling, which we can go anywhere from Cat 3 on up to Cat 7. And depending on the category of the cable, most of them are 10100 base T, and we can get up to 600 megahertz per second frequency, or 600 megahertz, I should say, frequency, as well as you can get a 10 gig Ethernet. So it's high output from the newest shielded twisted pair. And they call it shielded twisted pair because we've got a total of 8 wires. They are shielded with a PVC covering, and each pair marries together, if you will, and we'll end up with 4 pairs total. And those 4 pairs are then shielded and wrapped in another PVC grade external cover. We've got different cables that we could use, different types of connecting. We're not limited to just sending network connectivity off across the standard Ethernet cables. We can get what we call a Powerline Networking Kit, which includes two adapters. I can connect an RJ45 connection of a shielded twisted pair cable that connects our network to this device, plug that device in or connect it to a wall socket, a power socket in your home, and then preferably on the same circuit. Doesn't have to be on the same circuit, can be on the same home. You can plug in another device in another room, another floor, and transmit that network connectivity across the power grid. So technology's changed, and we keep blaming more on it with Moore's Law, how fast it's going to change. But we got power over the internet, or power over Ethernet, and we've got Ethernet over power. We have the ability to test these cables and find out, are they actually doing what we think they're doing? We've got special testers for cables, a variety of different cables. We've got multimeters, ohm meters, voltometers, Wi-Fi analyzers, special crimpers for RJ45s and RJ11s, ground testers. We have special punch down tools when it comes to using a patch panel for Ethernet cables. We'll deal with these as we go through Chapter 15. As a computer technician or a computer hardware support technician, we're not just focusing on the system unit anymore. Now we're looking at the big picture and bringing the network into the rest of the system. So we have to know more than just what's in the box. We have to know how everything connects together and how to control the network devices by using a command prompt. Right? We've talked about command prompt in the past, and TCP/IP and ipconfig, ipconfig/all. So these are things that you'll have to get used to. We've got some network commands on page 731 that I'd like you to take the time. And it continues on, 732, 733, 34. Get used to those command prompt commands and being able to analyze and know what's going on and control things through a command prompt. All right? So we'll see you in the next lecture in Chapter 16.